this is number 25. Wow. We are a quarter century old with our workouts so far. Ooh, feels good. Feels good. Per usual, if you want to do a few warm-ups while I'm chit-chatting in the beginning, feel free to do so. Sarah's grabbed a foam roller. You'll notice she kind of switches between some of her movements. Sometimes she gets some variation depending on what she's feeling. That's a really good thing for you guys to do too. If you notice that early on, if you have any tight or bright areas, this is a really good time to go to that area, spend a little time mobilizing, stretching that area, loosen it up so that you're ready to work out when the clock is on here. Beyond that, our programming is basically the same today. We don't have anything new. We do change it up so that we have 3 individual movements as opposed to 2 single-sided movements when it comes to our full range of motion stuff. But we've done that before, and I have faith that we should be able to knock that out pretty easily. What we need equipment-wise today are going to be 2 cans. So 2 cans and or Sarah grabbed her 2 40-ounce water bottles and she filled those up. So she's going to get a little bit of extra workout through that. So something where you grab 2 of them, kind of light to moderate weight. You could have also 1 heavy weight as well. So this could be a bag or backpack. Sarah's got the baking soda out over there. That's optional. It's not necessary for today's workout, but if you want it to kind of get a little bit more oomph to it, add something with some good weight to it to get more out of today. Beyond that, working out with our bare feet, that's a good thing. Let's practice it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen during these workouts. Who knows when we're done out of gridlock here and all of a sudden we got to put on shoes going forward. So enjoy our time. Go barefoot now. Proprioception, let's pay attention to what parts of the body we're trying to work in specific movements. I'll do my best to say it out loud. You do your best to find it and feel it during the working out. If you got yourself a few good tunes, now is a phenomenal time to put it on. Once again, we'll be keeping our tunage kind of low over here. So for you guys, go ahead and put something that makes you smile, that makes you ready to work out there, please. You got any injuries, be mindful, like we were addressing in the beginning, maybe even doing some warm-ups and stretches into those tight areas so that you're ready to roll. And then last up, checking in with yourself. How do you feel today? Let's come in and let's work out appropriately, depending on if you're jacked up or if you need a little time to warm up into things. Speaking of warm up, let's do it. We're gonna come on up, we're gonna grab that pole, that towel, and we're gonna get into our warm-up movements, our basics, where we're gonna go up and overhead. So 6 times of just kind of reaching high, getting to the front of the hips, to the back of the butt. And if you need to play around with your hand position, wider makes it a little easier to go back further. And let's go 1 more after this. Awesome. Next up is your windmills. Arms stay in front, 1 arm up and over. We'll go 3 rotations in 1 direction. Of course, your hands can be higher if you need them to be. And then go ahead and reverse that. Opposite side. Once again, taking the hands a little bit wider can kind of open the movement a little extra. All right, next up, we put this onto our shoulders. We're feeling our back and we take the feet nice and wide. We do a sit back and down to one side. We push up through that heel, getting tall, and switch it up. Once again, not many of these, so maybe you work on a little depth early, and you most certainly work on finding and feeling those heels as you're going down, as well as pushing up. All right, last one with our pull. Arms are up and overhead. We've got room to step backwards. Right foot steps back. We twist to the left side. We stand back up through that left heel, and we give it a little switch. Work on bigger rotations if you're feeling good. Get to at least a moderate stretch point in that outside hip, and maybe even a moderate stretch point through the chest and the shoulders in front. Okay, last one. All right, let's go ahead and put this aside. We're going to bring ourselves down to the floor. Hands and knees position, and we're going to reverse the hands. So we're going to have fingers pointing towards us. Bottoms of the hands are still flat to that floor. And then we're going to just work on rocking a bit forward and back. Okay? They're just kind of gently going into this. You're not going super far back. But we've been doing this for a couple weeks. I wonder, have you noticed that you can get back a little further than you could in the beginning? I can definitely say on my end the answer is yes. Sarah? Yeah?
My Apple Watch always buzzes me, so I'm hitting it.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure you turn on your workouts too. You know, one of the things that Sarah runs into sometimes is she doesn't activate her workout on there. So
gotta get my points.
Make sure you get your points out there. Absolutely. These are well-earned hard steps. Next up, we got that split stance, one foot a little bit further out in front, opposite hand behind you. You lean in and pull back with the elbow, and then you press back and you do a little opposite elbow to opposite knee reach. Now let's put the breathing to it. We breathe in and come forward. We breathe out. We find that kind of controlled turn. 2 more. Last one. All right, let's do a switch. Next knee down, next foot out in front, opposite hand behind you, lean in, pull the elbow back, push back, and rotate. Let's find that breathing. Inhale forward, exhale back. Maybe you can push forward a little extra, start waking up more mobility. And final one. All right. So next up, I'm going to keep that foot just kind of where it's at, but I'm going to swivel my body around about 90 degrees. We're going to go straight to that side. We're going to open through that inner thigh, and we're going to press back through that midfoot to heel area. Work as to how far you can go with control, right? I don't want you just dropping into it, but think you're in smooth control coming down, and maybe you're pushing that envelope of how far you can go. Let's go ahead and switch the knees, opposite side. Leg foot straight out. Let's lean into that and press up and get tall again. So once again, let's play around with what kind of mobility we can allow the ankle to give us right here. Can we keep that foot planted, keep that heel planted, and really work on that knee coming forward? Give me one more, last one. All right, we're gonna finish up our warm-ups on our bike. We got on our bicycle. 30 seconds on your back is where we start you. Hands will be lightly behind the head. Your feet will be up into the air. We'll get you started in 3, in 2, in 1. You give me that opposite elbow to opposite knee. And let's just find this smooth movement to begin here. Low back pressing down, so anchoring through that low back. One leg fully straightening each and every time. And let's find those core muscles. Can you feel your abs twisting you side to side? All right, we got 5 more seconds, last few. Finished up in 3, in 2, and rest. You are officially warm. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 6 movements to show you as a part of this full range circuit today, so please pay attention. If you want to do a few of them with us to keep yourself warm in the meantime, absolutely come do it. If you want it as a small breather, that is a-okay as well. So our first movement is going to be using some cans or a heavy weight. It is a sumo squat, and then we're gonna do a little bit of an upright row at the top. So we're gonna get into a sumo squat position. We want feet to be wider than the shoulders today. We wanna turn the toes out a little bit, not a ton, but at least some. And then the weights are gonna be sitting right in front of the hips as we go down into that squat. When we come up, weights stay close together, and we're gonna pull the elbows back a little bit. We're gonna drop back down, and then create kind of a good lift. So we're feeling top of the shoulders. We're getting a little bit of that back up top working in that lift, and of course those heels are working as we're going up and down through that squat. You need a more manageable approach. Just remember, you don't need to go all the way down. You just go down to wherever you feel good and where you can still access those heels. So that's first full movement. Our next movement is just the pulse for the 20 seconds. Use the cans or not. Keep the feet real wide, come down, and then hang out. So just little ups and downs for that pulse. Once we're done with that, we go cardio. Cardio is the same as we did in our last few workouts, where we've got that foot out in front, we're gonna lift that back knee, and we're gonna do a little pull down with the arms. So we'll start on our right side in our first round. Our second time around, we will switch it over to our left side, just FYI. Second movement, we're coming down to the floor. We're gonna do a Superman lift. So we're gonna start with the arms extended out, the feet out, and we're gonna lift up the hands and the feet. You're gonna then do a lat pull down, which pulls the elbows straight down to the ribs, extend the arms back out, and then gently allow the hands and the feet to come all the way back down. Everything lifts up, pull down, squeeze the bottom shoulder blades, extend, and release. Your pulse then has 2 options. You can either keep the elbows right by you and do a very condensed lift, or you can extend those arms and make it more challenging through there. Okay, so that's your pulse, and then we finish up with cardio Cardio is a plank jack for this one. So hands underneath shoulders or elbows underneath shoulders. Jump the feet out, bring them back together. And if you need to, you can step them out one at a time as well as a safer option through there. So that's exercise number 2. Exercise number 3 as we finish is a new one. So we're going to be walking out to an inchworm position. You're going to bring the hands and walk yourself out to a plank from a standing point, and then you're going to walk yourself all the way back up. Yeah, so going all the way down and up is the full range of motion in the movement. Then from there, we're going to switch directly into doing a downward dog. So once we've come to the bottom point of that inchworm and our 40 seconds is up, then we're just going to stay on the hands, push the hips backwards. We're going to stay here, and then your option, if you'd like to make it more challenging, is going to be to bend your elbows a little bit, bringing the crown of the head towards the floor and pushing back up nice and tall. Once again, you have that option to just stay in downward dog if you'd like that as your more manageable approach. We'll finish up with cardio bean bicycles on that. So that's kind of a mouthful. I hope you caught it all. We're going to put some stuff in the credits so you can see all that. Let's practice it out, and we're going to start with either 2 cans or a lightweight, and we're going to go sumo squat, and we're going to do that high row at the top. 10 seconds and we get ourselves going. That means you get yourself into position from here. Feet a little wide, toes a little turned out, weights down in the center, and then lift up and pull. In 1, let's go. Perfect. So Sarah right off the bat is doing a great job of kind of keeping an upright position up top. If she's engaging her core, that means that she's keeping herself safe. And when she's up here, finding those tops and finding a squeeze into the top of the neck, little back of the top of the back as well. Good. Breathe in, going down. Breathe out, standing up. We got last few, and then we're going to pulse it next. In 3, in 2, in 1. You can drop the weights or keep them. We pulse for 20 coming up. Go to the bottom and pulse beginning in 3, 2, and 1. So for that manageable approach, take it higher if you need to. We can be up here and we still be doing that same pulse and getting those heels and glutes active. Sarah's gone low. She's getting more out of what she's doing. I love it. In 3, in 2, in 1. All right, so next we go to cardio. Take that foot out in front, next leg behind you. You're gonna rapidly bring that knee up, nice and quick. In 2, in 1. Let's go, bring that knee up. She's got the arms moving with her, so she's pulling down the arms with each of those. The more muscles you can wake up in this, do it. You're gonna get more out of it. She can pull down, feeling those back muscles, all the better. There we go, steady breathing, 10 seconds, folks. Last little bit. Go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Nice. All right, so it's 40 seconds of recovery. Our next movement will bring us flat to the floor. What do you think? Is that a good leg burner?
We're gonna set the pulse.
Oh no, we talked about it and she still didn't set it. What the heck?
You're so important. The watch is so important.
Yeah, if it's not recorded, did it ever happen?
It didn't count.
I mean, if a tree falls in the woods, nobody's there to hear it, did it make sound? All right, so release the arms out in front of you. This is our Superman. We've got 10 seconds and we get going. It's a full lift, hands and heels up, and then we're gonna really peel those elbows down to the ribs. In 3, in 2, in 1. Everything lifts. Now she squeezes that center back, release, and then hands and feet back down. So take it piece by piece, right? There's about 4 revolving pieces through the lift, the pull, the extension, and the drop. The more you can press your abs into the floor, you're gonna be working way harder, so you can add that into it if you need from there. We got 10 more seconds. With the pulse, you're gonna have 2 options. One is to just keep the elbows close and go here. The other is to extend the arms. In 3, in 2, in 1. You rest for 10. Next up, we've got 20 seconds of pulses coming up. So once again, arms can be out or elbows by you. In 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up, stay up. and pulse it. So find control in your pulse. Find breathing in your pulse. Last few. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We go cardio, which is plank jack next. Hands or elbows underneath you, jumping the feet out and bringing them together in 2, in 1. Let's knock it out. Got 30 seconds right here. I want you to find a pace in the beginning and see if we can maintain that through that full 30. You can tighten those core muscles. This is really not only going to build you up more, but it's going to keep that low back safe. Got 10 seconds, last little bit. Focus in, finish well. Finish line is coming up. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Good, we got ourselves that 40 seconds of break time right here. 40 seconds of break. We're doing it, huh?
140.
We finally got that thing working? All right, goodness. All right, so next movement is our walkout inchworm. So we're gonna start at a tall position. We're gonna bring the hands, walk out to a full plank position before you walk it back in and stand up nice and tall. Okay, option on this one, you can go to the hands and walk it up to feel where you feel comfortable and then come up nice and tall. Okay. Once we're done with that, we're gonna stay in a downward dog position. Let's get going in 3, in 2, in 1. Fold it forward, walk out with control, and hold a nice plank for a good split second before you stand up. And once again, tall, postured at the top of that movement. Yeah, so Sarah, great idea, yeah. So Sarah's showing you a power option if you can put a push-up into that at the bottom as well. You want to get a little bit more out of this, give me a beautiful push-up at the bottom of that plank. Woo, go girl.
That's it, folks.
That's good, that's good. I think you still got one more in you. You can get one more. All right, everybody, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Keep the hands on the floor and go to a downward dog right here. Go to a downward dog. So hips high, legs straight. Now your pulse option is bend the elbows and lower. In 1, get going if you want to pulse or hold your down dog. Your choice. You'll notice Sarah's just doing a micro bend of those elbows and she's pushing through the tops of those shoulders to come back up. She's doing a great job keeping the legs straight and the butt up. In 3, in 2, in 1. Turn around bicycles for cardio for 30. Last exercise, and we're taking a little bit longer break. In 3, in 2, in 1. We go bicycle, we get extension, we work on anchoring that low back, and we work on feeling the core muscles, getting the body to turn. There we go, so steady breathing. Got ourselves about 10 seconds remaining right here. Last 10 seconds coming up. Keep working towards that bell. Go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. That's it. Take a breather, everybody. Nice job. I like it. Get yourself some water. Give yourself a little pat on the back. You know, it's almost the weekend. It's always a good feeling reflecting on a Thursday night and being like, just one more day, you know, and then we're in there. Then it's Friday, and then we're free.
Every day is the same.
And at the same time, every day is exactly the same as well. Yeah. Life of a quarantine superstar. All right, let's do our second round. So I want you to finish up getting that water. I want you to choose what weight you want, whether it's some cans, some moderate weight, or a heavy weight for doing the lift while we're in the sumo squat. Let's get back into position, grab what you need. You got 10 seconds and we officially get going. Remember, feet are wide, heels bringing you down. In 3, in 2, in 1. She sits into the heels. She's getting that nice lift at the top. Let's put the breathing to it. You go down, you breathe in. You come up, you breathe out. Think about breathe out and give me a strong lift with those arms and shoulders. There we go. And finding a rhythm now, right? Once you're in that zone, let's push tempo if you got it in you. This is our last opportunity to do full range of motion already. You're feeling good, bring it. 10 seconds. There we go. Keep that breathing, focus to the finish. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Pulse comes next. Weights can stay or weights can go. It's up to you. Same position with the legs. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. We go down to where you need to be, and we're barely moving. Finding heels. Let's tighten core, everybody. Tighten up that belly right now. Grip it. There we go. Finished up. In 3, in 2, in 1. Cardio next. Give me the opposite leg forward. Left leg forward. Put the weight up front. In 3, in 2, in 1. You go starting with the balance first, and then once you're feeling good, ramping it up so that it really truly becomes a cardio movement from there. Good. And just pulling down with those arms. I can't encourage this enough. Pull and feel those lats as we're pulling down to get more out of it. We got last 10 seconds. Focus and finish. Push it if you got it. Good. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We got 40 seconds to recover. 40 seconds to recover. All right, next up we're going to the floor in Superman style. You're doing great out there. You're bringing it per usual. Full lift, lat pull down, full extension. If you take a look at the clock, you still got more than 10 seconds right now. Get your water, allow yourself to slow and deepen your breathing for a moment. Okay, let's get back into it. You're in position in 3, in 2, in 1. You create the lift, you create the pull, the extension, and that slow release back down. There's one piece of this I want more than any other. It is at full extension at the end, coming down slowly. Right? She's tired by that point. Extend it, and now slow. Bingo. That's the best way we can find success. That belly press to activate more if you got it in you. We got 10 seconds remaining. Pulse will come to follow. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10. Once again, big inhale, long exhale. Get your choice of pulse, close by or extended. In 2, in 1. Let's go. Knock it out for 20. Okay, you don't need to be up super high, but you need to maintain your control. Please find it. And breathe steadily. Find some in and out. Keep that oxygen coming. In 3, in 2, in 1. Cardio next. Plank jack. Feet jumping out and together or stepping out. In 3, in 2, in 1. Out and in. We're going to make sure, take a look at your elbows or your hands, and are they right under the shoulders? So are we keeping that shoulder safe by doing so? Is our belly tight? Tighten it up if it's not. Support and safety. All right, 10 seconds, last few. Crank them out if you got that energy in you. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. 40 seconds recovery. We finish with those walkout inchworm to plank positions. Power option, you can do a push-up at the bottom. If you're feeling good, I want to see some push-ups in there. How we doing? Can you do a push-up on each of those? That is my challenge to you.
Each one?
Sarah struggles with the push-ups. We've recorded this before. It's well documented. 40 seconds. I think you got like 4 to 5 push-ups in it if you can do them. 10 seconds, folks. Let's get ready. You need to be standing. We want a little space between the feet. We're going to walk out onto the hands beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's walk it out. Show me a good plank. And if you got that push-up, do that push-up. If you need to do that push-up from the knees, do that push-up from your knees. Sarah, I believe in you. We have people all across the globe right now who believe that you can do this. There's no pressure, none at all. Oh, there we go. That's still looking pretty strong. I want to see depth. You got 10 more seconds, everybody. Can Sarah do at least one more push-up? I got faith. She's gonna do it. In 3, 2, 1. Keep your hands to the floor. Keep your hands to the floor. Move yourself into a downward dog. Okay, your pulse option is to bend the elbows or to stay. In 2, 1. Pulse if you got it, or stay in your down dog. Remember, with a good down dog, we want to be kind of pushing the chest back towards the feet. You want to keep those back legs straight to get that great stretch. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Flip it around, you go bicycles for 30, and then we are wrapped with our full range of motion. The first half of the workout is nearly done. Bicycles in 3, 2, 1. Knock it out with full extension. And those same bits I've been harping on you today, anchor the low back and feel the core muscles rotating you side to side. Anchor that low back, feel those abs rotating you. And let's maintain steady breath. You got 10 more seconds, last 10. Extend, breathe, 3, 2, 1. Breather, break time. First half of the workout is official. Woo! All right. Is that a good one today?
Yeah.
Okay. You weren't real thrilled with me on those Bulgarian split squats the other day.
No.
I did that workout today. That was a burner.
Yeah.
I felt those.
I'm still struggling.
That booty was working for sure. Okay. Well, we're going to go into a little bit more of that familiar territory, that Tabata coming up. Same premise as usual. We got 5 movements. 3 of them are going to be done on each side. Let's start out with those. In our first 2 movements, we got that option of the cans or some more moderate weights if you'd like through there. It's going to be a movement that I always love to give a big shout out to my homie Keith. In fact, the whole reason I'm a trainer is because of Keith, so big ups to you, Keith Lucet. He showed me this one. I think it's really fun. Your feet go together, you keep your hands together, and you squat down. And so you kind of condense yourself like a ball of gas. And when a ball of gas hits a flame, what happens? It steps out and explodes nice and wide. Then we come back into it, and we're going to stay to that same side. Okay? So stepping out to a single side for 20 seconds, rest for 20, and then step out to the next side. Second movement, we're going to put one of these away. We're going to do a little single leg deadlift work. So if my right hand is holding the weight, my right foot is the one that's going to be lifting behind me. So let's start with that. Right hand holding the weight, right foot lifts up. And then we're going to do a delt fly. So that arm stays straight, lifts out to the side, comes smoothly down, and stand back up nice and tall. Smooth as you can. Find a focal point with the eyes and tighten the belly. If you need a more manageable approach, you're just going to like a halfway down position. Keep yourself a little bit more balanced, maybe a little bit safer through there. So those are first 4, then we come down to the floor. We're going to go sawing planks on the floor to start it down here. Hands or elbows underneath your shoulders, good plank position, moving your body a little forward, bringing your heels back. Okay, singular, just kind of forward and back. And if you can, push the top of your body up just a little higher. You're going to notice some top of the abs working overtime. After that, we're going to turn ourselves around. We're going to go hollow hold position. So the hollow hold, we've become more acquainted with this recently. Legs up, hands up. And as we hold this, one hand's going to reach down towards the leg or the hip and then switch over. So alternating hand reaches while we're doing that hollow hold. Okay, final movement. We're going to stay on our back. We're going to grab some weight. If you like it, you can put it on the hips. We're going to have one leg straight up, the other foot flat on the floor. We're going to press up for a single leg hip bridge press, and then smooth coming back down. Okay, more manageable approach, you can keep both those feet down, and you can work both sides both times with both of those feet. Hopefully that is clear. We'll do our best to call it out throughout here. I'm going to put that 10-second marker on the clock. I need you to get ready with either some cans, some moderate weight. You can do no weight as well, and we're going to do that little exploding ball of gas movement coming up. 10 seconds is official. Feet together, hands together. Curl yourself all the way down. 3, 2, 1. Step it out and pull the arms apart and sit right back into it. Extend out, and then if you get lower, you're going to start giving yourself a little bit more of that power option. Another way to access power into this movement is to stand up quickly. Stand with strength. Stand with strong. In 3, in 2, in 1. Breathe for 10. Same movement. Second side coming up. Reset, feet together, hands together. In 2, in 1. Bring it down and open it up. Okay? So when you open those arms, pull them back just a little bit. Give me some posterior shoulder work at the top of that as well. Got 10 more seconds. And as you stand up, breathe out. Stand up, breathe out. Put some power into that. In 3, 2, 1. Next up, keep one weight. Single leg deadlift. If my right hand's holding, my right leg is lifting. Single arm, fly, and then bring it up. In 2, in 1. Lean into that. Keep the arm straight and pull it out to the side. And then stand back up nice and tall. Now your option, if you need it for that shoulder, is you keep the elbow bent and just a little bit closer towards you. Keep you a little safer as opposed to that fully extended point. In 3, in 2, in 1. At the top, switch the hands. Prepare for the next leg to do the lifting. In 3, in 2, in 1. Lower it down. Find the fly. Smooth coming all the way down and tall. Love it, good. So we talk about this oftentimes with balance, tighten the belly and focus the eyes. If we can do those two things, we're gonna up the ante as to how well we can balance. In 3, in 2, in 1. Put the weights down, come down to the floor. It is sawing plank next. Elbows or hands underneath the shoulders. In 3, in 2, in 1. That little small forward and that small amount backward. And Sarah's doing a good job. If you can see, she's got just like a little bit of an arch here, which means that she's giving me more press through her lats. She's hitting the serratus anterior, the top of those abs. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Hollow hold next, so turn it around. Remember, with our hollow hold, we're gonna have one hand reaching and coming back up. In 3, in 2, in 1. More manageable approach, one foot on the floor. So if we're doing more manageable, everyone right foot to the floor for that more manageable approach. And still pushing down that low back and eyes on the ceiling above. Lift the head, neck, eyes above. In 3, in 2, in 1. We do single leg hip bridge press. If you got any weights you'd like to put on the hips, feel free. Otherwise, body weight is cool. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. One leg straight up, and we are accessing through that heel. It's the back of that foot. And she's going to find the glute in the hip, right? Glute in the hip on that strong leg side. Good. Core. Let's tighten up the core. 3, 2, 1. Rest for 10. Prepare to switch. Next side. We get going in 3, in 2. Let's go. Press it and control the down. Okay. Think about that outside of the hip working right here to stabilize you, right? It's usually really easy to access that in a single leg environment right here. Find and feel outside hip in control. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. That is good. That is break time. That is rest time. Tabata 1. Hopefully we got it down. Now we'll be ready to rock in our second sequence here. We got 2 more sequences remaining. So hang in with us, get some water if you need it. How we doing there, boss? Doing good? Hopefully you all doing good out there. We're gonna get right back into it. So we're gonna grab those cans, 2 of them or moderate weights to get started. It's official. We got 10 seconds on the clock before we get going, so you need to be in position. We're gonna start out with that ball of gas movement. Feet together, hands together in 3, 2, 1. All the way down and then open up at the top. Let's pull those hands apart. Let's get some back shoulders working. And as you stand, can you push out through that outside hip? Find a little bit of outside hip working in that step out. All right. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We rest for 10. Yeah. Next side coming up. Same thing. Everything together and squat in 2, in 1, and open it up. If you want to go powerful, let's start bursting at the top of this, right? So you start getting some serious pop as you stand, and then control and go lower on the down to get more of a power option. My more manageable folk, you're just not going so low into that squat. Keep ourselves safe with depth. In 3, in 2, in 1. One weight goes down, single leg deadlift, and delt fly to follow. Whatever hand holds the weight, that foot lifts. In 2, in 1, lower down. Now create the lift and stand. Good. Abs, lock them in. Eyes, lock them in. There we go. Just find that zone. In 3, in 2, in 1. That's good. Let's go ahead and stand up. Prepare to switch. Opposite foot lifting, opposite hand doing that. In 3, in 2, in 1. Good. So Sarah's struggling a little bit on this side. It's her more challenged, balanced challenge side. She's slowing it down, right? Try to find it piece by piece. Imagine that you're on video camera and people are watching you. Make it look good. In 3, in 2, in 1. That's good. We go sawing planks next down to the floor. Elbows or hands, plank position, little forward and back. In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's find that steady forward, steady back. And imagine the top of your abs, right? Find the top of your abs, and if I've got a drawstring like a marionette above you and I'm just pulling it up a little bit, that extra little bit, that just a few centimeters makes a huge difference. 2, 1, turn it around, hollow hold. We're gonna have those side reaches during the hold. We get started in 3, 2, 1, hands and feet up into the air. Now, more manageable, left foot on the floor. More manageable people, left foot is on the floor. Good. And push that low back down. We can wake up that low back. We are amped up in this movement right now. Good. Last few finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Stay on your back. Weight on the hips. Single leg hip bridge press. Or no weight is fine too. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Give me the press up and the smooth back down. You can push up with strength, but you give me smooth coming back down, please. There we go. Let's tighten the core. Let's engage more. Got last few on this side. Go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10. Next side coming up. Then we take another good breather. Get right towards the end, folks. Let's knock it out. Finished up in 3, 2, let's get going. Give me 20. Good. As you push up, breathe out, right? Same thing as we were standing through our leg exercises. And push on up. Last few. In 2, in 1. That is recovery. 2 out of 3. You got 1 remaining on your day. And so I'll just do a little bit of deep breathing for a moment. Give me a belly breath in. Smile and breathe out. Shake it out. Oh, always feels good to smile a little bit. Give me a smile. Very good. Yeah, see, she felt instantly better, and it does that sort of thing. Don't be afraid to smile around there. I'm sure the kids wouldn't mind seeing a smile or two every once in a while. One more time? I think so. Try to get more out of you. All right, so let's get into our final opportunity today. Last bit of workout. Let's get into our final round of Tabata. It's official. There's 10 seconds on that clock. We're going to get you into that ball of gas movement, nice and low, and then you're going to explode in 2, in 1. Get low and explode. Ooh, that was good. I made that rhyme pretty well, huh? I'm going to have to save that clip for later. That's a good one. Okay, so opening and pulling those hands back. Let's get back shoulders working, and then power as you stand up for those final few. In 3, in 2, in 1. We recover for 10. We get ready. That next side is coming up. Okay, get low if you got it in you. In 3, in 2, in 1. Bring it down and open wide. Find the breathe in as you come down. Find the breathe out as you go back up. Inhale down, exhale and open at the top. Sarah's working on her breathing according to what I'm telling her, but she rarely does. In 2, in 1, That's good. Single weight next. Single leg deadlift, single arm fly. Whichever hand is holding the weight, that leg is lifted behind you. In 2, in 1. Let's make it happen. All the way down, fly through that arm, and back down. Remember, this is a fly that is meant to get the middle of the back and the lat right here. So we're actively feeling those muscles during the lift and not that neck. Minimize neck, maximize mid-back. In 3, in 2, in 1. Stand up, switch the hands, switch the legs. Let's find a good breath in. Let's focus the eyes. In 3, in 2, let's go. There we go. Grip through some feet right here. Wake those feet up. Keep those senses strong in them. Woo! I spoke too soon. Shouldn't have messed with those feet. Anyone else slip up there? In 3, in 2, in 1. That's good. Bring the weight down. Come to the floor. Plank position. Sawing planks next. Beginning in 3, 2, 1. Give me that smooth forward back. Steady breathing. Let's find our breath continually. And imagine that marionette string pulling the top of the abs towards the ceiling. There we go. Smooth breathing. We finish this one up in 3, in 2, in 1. 3 movements remaining. Turn yourself around. Hollow hold position. Side reaches followed by hip presses. In 3, in 2, in 1. Everything up. If we need more manageable, 1 foot on the floor. Your choice which. Good. Sarah's doing a great job of keeping the arms straight during that lift. So you get more out of it by keeping that extended arm straight all the way down and up. Let's go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. She stays on her back. She adds some weight if she needs it. It's that single leg hip press to wrap up our day, folks. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Push it up and control it back down, right? I don't need speed right here. I'm good with a pop going up, but I want control on that down, please. There we go. We're breathing out as you push up, breathing out as you push up. Go final few, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. 10 seconds, last move of your day. Let's control it and make it great to the finish. Finished in 3, 2, 1. Up we go for that final 20. Last movement of the day. There we go. Keep that control. Use the core. Find it, feel it. Last few, folks. All right. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! All right. Nicely done. There is a good bask on her. She's a little shimmering into that light. I don't know about you all, but it's 80 degrees in Santa Cruz right now, which like never ever happens, and especially not for multiple days in a row. Get a little extra sweat going. Purge the body of some toxins.
I like it. It's like hot yoga.
I don't think there's too many toxins left in us these days.
That's true.
I've been eating pretty clean. Hopefully you all have been too. It's such a great opportunity to be at home right now and have the opportunity to consistently cook, right? We're not just stuck in these situations where we have to go grab a quick bite to eat somewhere that maybe isn't the best choice. Like, we legitimately have options at home, something that clients have told me for years they wish they had. So, silver linings for sure. Let's get into a little bit of stretching work. Sarah's going to be on her back. I'm going to do it from a seated approach. But your choice where you want to be. We're going to start with your figure 4 position. So 1 foot on the opposite knee. And if you're seated and you like to make it a bigger stretch, you just kind of move your hips forward and you can collapse the leg. Or if you need to lighten it up, you move yourself down. Sarah's got her hands behind the thigh, so she's not grabbing behind the shin, but behind the thigh. Keep yourself a little safer through there. Okay, as we're here, let's kick into our breathing that I love to tell you about so much. It's a belly breath in. Breathe in deeply. Long exhale out. Okay, let's go ahead and switch it over. Opposite side here. Figure out where that works well for you. And once again, we talked about this in the beginning of the workout, but if you notice that certain areas are tighter or you have injuries on certain areas, don't be afraid to spend longer than our time together here. Go back to it, allow yourself those opportunities to give the places that need the work the most, that work. Nice big inhale in, and nice long exhale out. We're gonna go into our butterfly stretch next, so bottoms of the feet go together. I'm gonna sit upright, Sarah's gonna stay on her back, and we're both just gonna actively try to push the knees down, find that inner thigh stretch here. Now, what we're gonna chit chat to you about, well, I will be delivering a speech tomorrow, a presentation, 30-minute presentation called Smart Exercise for the At-Home Individual. I'm gonna do my best to videotape it and put it on YouTube for all you guys, but I don't know if that for sure will happen. But I wanted to bring up a number of the points that are pretty strong throughout what I'm gonna be discussing tomorrow. Big inhale in, long exhale out. Let's release out of here, and let's get into our quad stretch and our hip flexor stretch. So kneeling position, let's say left knee is down, right foot is out in front. And you can start by bringing both hands out in front, leaning the hips forward. You can squeeze your butt on that left side. And you could also, if you'd like, bring that left foot up and grab it with the opposite hand from there. So what we're doing right now, kind of some dynamic stretches, what we do in our day-to-day workouts, right? Things like warming up with dynamic movement in the beginning, like challenging our balance through the workout, like making sure that we're getting strengthening into what we're doing, and finding challenge into here are really great ways to be successful in whatever movements you're doing. Without challenge, the body does not change. So we need to make sure that we are challenging what we do so that our bodies can adapt to get stronger and healthier. Big inhale in. Long exhale out. Let's go ahead and drop the foot, switch the knees, next side coming, and leaning back into that. Once again, kind of feeling if you'd like to kick that foot up, and if not, no big deal at all through there as well. And also, the focus on how each person is individual, and we have lots of opportunities of different types of exercises that we can do. Obviously, we create a product here that encompasses a lot of things that I believe in, but it doesn't encompass everything that I believe in. And I think that getting time to do things like yoga and Pilates and meditation, pure strength training, pure HIIT training, I think those are all, and even great aerobic work through here. Let's drop the foot and let's bring ourselves to a seated position. We'll do a little side stretching with a hand overhead here. So there's so much available, and variety really is a key to great health when it comes into what choices you make. But I guess what I'm asking all of you is to think about what other exercises or what other things are you doing in the physical realm to give you a more well-rounded health. Nice big inhale in. As we exhale, we're going to switch it on over. Doing things like yoga or Tai Chi, there are opportunities where we're working more in stretching, getting ourselves into a quieter space, but still doing that through physical movement, through exercise. And so just kind of looking at what are you doing in your spare time? Nice big inhale, nice exhale. While quarantined at home, of course. Let's do a little bit of forearm stretching today. I'm going to eliminate the neck stuff. Let's go ahead and just take an arm out and pull the fingers back and allow kind of the belly of that forearm to open a little bit here. Let's keep the neck released and nice and smooth as well. So ask yourself, if you don't have a well-rounded routine so far, are there some certain things that you'd like to dabble in, things that you'd like to learn? Or are there old habits that you used to do, like going for a bike ride on the weekend that you haven't, that maybe we could start to implement again? Go ahead and switch it, opposite side. Keep the neck a little bit loose. I love the idea of doing aerobic training on kind of the weekends, and I always think that that's a way to get me outside, and whether that's hiking or biking, or going for a run. You and I have been doing a few more runs, you a few more than me. But, the aerobic training is a nice complement to kind of the strength and the balance work that we do here as well. Let's go ahead and shake it on out. Everybody, thank you for joining us today. Let's do one good inhale in together. And as we exhale, Smile one more time. Have yourselves a great rest of the day wherever you're at, and we will see you soon.